workaholism is in every aspect of our lives.
What do I gain? I gain 5 hours of fun, but I lose 2 days of health by being sick in bed. Social media is a platform for marketing. That's it. It was created to make us consumers. You know, if you fight for something in life, you'll get whatever you want. And some people at 40 aren't even mature.
Workaholism. That's the topic today. And workaholism is an addiction. And like all addictions, it blocks healthy energy. So that is the topic today of breaking down workaholism and working hard and the difference between the two. And at what cost does that hinder somebody's growth, somebody's well-being, somebody's mental health, physical, emotional health? And I was lucky enough to nail the best guest to tap into this conversation. It's going to be heated. We're going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because we share a lot.
Okay.
But just to give you a little bit of background on this amazing guest that I'm bringing to the table today. Content creator, real estate expert, CEO of Generate Growth Production, 12 years in Dubai as a real estate expert and advisor. So he has a lot of passion. He has a lot of opinion, a lot to say, and we're here for it today. So without further ado, I would like to welcome no other than Bardia.
Wow. What an introduction. I feel like I'm winning an award in MTV or BET or something. That's
welcome.
Unbelievable. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was mad. That's never happened in my life.
Oh, I'm glad I can give
Appreciate
you
that.
You're welcome. Welcome to Pivot Mode.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
It's exciting.
100%.
I'm launching this. I'm excited about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Speaking
much.
of workaholic.
Yeah.
You're launching this.
Yeah.
You're doing more work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be able to have you join me on this journey is such an honor. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Truthfully.
So we're gonna tap into this conversation. It's real. We're facing it. Our generation, well, my generation is a lot older than yours. Your generation comes next, and then the generation that I'm mostly concerned about
Is the new one.
is the new one,
Gen
the
Z,
Gen
yeah.
Zs,
Yeah.
right? Because my generation was able to pass on some of the coping mechanisms to you, right? Then I think it stopped at your generation, where this generation, because they were brought up in the technological arena, they're expected to be able to handle it all, to know it all, to figure things out. But before we tap into that, that's just to get the wheels turning, right? To tap into that, before we tap into that, I would like for you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, thank you. Everything you said. My name is Bardia. I'm from Sweden. My parents are from Iran, however. I run a company called Generate. We do content. We specialize in real estate, lead generation. I do some sales coaching if it requires. I just love real estate. Been in Dubai for 12 years, on and off. I had this small, actually moved to Orlando, moved back to Sweden, but my eyes was always on the market. But yeah, you could say 12 years. And yeah, that's about it. And I understand why I've been invited, because me and Waleed on a different pod discussed a little bit about health concerns, because I had a little bit of a health stint earlier this year. And yeah. But that's what happens. We get blinded. It's capitalism.
We forget.
It doesn't
right?
matter how much you run. There's someone's quicker than you.
There's somebody
You
quicker
wake up
than
in the
you.
morning and run like the gazelle.
Yeah.
Like Sheikh Mohammed said. God bless him.
Yeah. You're running like a gazelle, and then life stops you.
Yeah, 100%.
So what happened?
Nothing. I just worked extremely hard last year and the year before that, extremely hard, and I pushed myself because, your will kind of takes over your capabilities. Well, your biological capabilities. You forget about biology, you forget about your intestines, you forget about, your heart rates, liver failure, what you eat, what you drink. Many people in Dubai, I'm sure you've been here for a couple of years now. I'm sure you've seen many people in Dubai, they kind of binge drink in the weekend because of their hectic, Monday to Friday, right? And that's just what happened. I hit a brick wall. I couldn't get out of bed for a good month and a half. And I was just in bed, jumped in the shower, bed, talabat, 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 bed, shower, bed, shower. That's it. Netflix. I think I did a marathon on everything that I've seen 3 times. So that's why I just took it easy. And I'm just, I'm just fortunate enough to be in a situation financially where, I don't live paycheck to paycheck, at least. Those individuals that live, literally speaking, paycheck to paycheck, because of whatever financial, disabilities that they may carry, if they don't have a very good wage, if that doesn't allow them to save up, or if they are taking care of family members outside of the country that, take away a lot of their weight, so they can't really bulk up for an, emergency like I faced. I feel 100 times worse for them than me. I could go to sleep and be like, you know what, I don't want to work this week. I had the privilege to at least have that, because that goes from, physical stress to mental stress. Yeah. And at least the mental part of it for me financially was out of the question. I just need to figure out, what do I need to do in terms of limitations, and what do I need to think about in terms of structuring my work and minimizing, stress and time management and everything, so this doesn't happen again. Yeah. I was privileged.
No, which was so good for you to step back and take that inventory of yourself, right? Not everybody can do that. Yeah. And it's so important, just like we said, this generation coming up, it's the core of my podcast is really to be a playbook for them, right? That we're passing on this knowledge to them of, this is what you're not supposed to do. Try not to do this, so that you do not face these consequences like we did, because we know firsthand what it is to be burnt out, to be, you're trying to climb the corporate ladder and break the glass ceilings, and in that process, what is the cost? Yeah. To you, to your well-being, right? Yeah. So in that spirit, would you be able to unpack workaholism versus working hard?
Wow, what a deep question. I don't think I could. I think I could when it comes to myself. See, it's all about levels. It's all about knowing where you came from, right? What you've achieved. It's easier to always look at the glass that is half empty. It's very easy to not acknowledge the fact that it's half full. When you started, it was empty. Now it's half full, right? But you keep on, because we live in a capitalistic society. The luxuries that we see, the cars we see, the mansions, the houses, the penthouses, especially in my field, doesn't matter if you live in a beautiful 2 or 3 bedroom apartment, you just shot a video in a penthouse, or you heard a launch and a penthouse was sold for 55 million dirham, you still feel like this. And you keep on using that as an example to work hard, because everyone's dream can become a reality. And, if you fight for something in life, you'll get whatever you want. That kind of mentality, which is good for motivational speakers to say it, but we have to look at, what are your resources? Where did you come from? Okay, I'm speaking about it from the point that, if you come from a ultra high net worth individual family, of course you have financial means to back your dream. But if you come from the slums of India, for example, right, you moved to Dubai, you managed to save up for a ticket, you landed in Dubai with 1,000 dirham in your pocket, and fast forward 3 years, you managed to take a studio and live a normal day-to-day life. That is a success story based on the resources that individual had. We have to look at, what kind of resources do we have? Where did I come from? What is my background? And how far have I made it? You see what I'm saying? The problem is, many people maybe come to Dubai, see all the glitz and glamour, get completely sunken into it, they get drunk into work because they see things that is so far away from their reality, but their logic doesn't really kick in to understand that there's a limitation to what you can actually achieve. I'm not saying you can't, but the probability with certain resources to reach something else, probability is kind of slim. So the question remains that, is it worth working 24/7, wasting 10 years of your life, and just becoming very disappointed at yourself because you didn't reach something that was almost, based on your resources, unreachable? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't be a midget and be like, I'm going to go to the NBA. Speaking about you coming from Brooklyn, we spoke a little bit about basketball, me not being a Knicks fan, yada, yada. Yeah. Like, you can't, as a midget, you can set that goal. You can become a very good basketball player, but what are you going to do when you come into the league and you are, 4 feet tall and you're playing a guy that's 6'5"? What is your resources to actually make it to the NBA? I don't know if that makes a bit sense, but we have to look at where we come from. What is your resource like?
Exactly, and I completely agree with what you're saying in the sense of creating a false narrative, and that's what my concern is with the upcoming generation. We want them to build. We want them to start from, the foundation and build strong aspirations. But just like you said, they're falling for the TikToks and they're falling for the
major
videos,
companies. The major companies, like, we have to remember, social media is a platform for marketing. That's it. It was created to make us consumers, more of a consuming crowd worldwide than we were before social media. Okay, I had no idea what Louis Vuitton was at the age of 10. You see what I'm saying? We have songs on TikTok and when you're 16 years old today, you think that having a Rolex and driving a Bentley is norm. You don't understand what's behind that. But they push that agenda so much in order for you to do what? Go get some loans. Who makes the money? The banks, right? You push the agenda on women at age 16, 17, 18, their most vital years of insecurity. You push that they're not perfect. You push that you need to do fillers. You push that you have to get some butt cheeks. You push that you have to do all of these things. Now you've manipulated a 16, 17, 18-year-old girl, right? Instead of thinking positively about who you are, you've manipulated her for financial gain, for the Botox industry, for the surgery industry, for the beauty industry, right? So it's no one's fault, but unfortunately, corporate world has so much over us. They're dangling with us. So as a 16-year-old or 20-year-old, the Gen Zs that you're talking about, 25-year-old, they don't have the outlook that me and you have because we've matured and we understand certain things. You see what I'm saying? So, they're to blame. And you said something earlier on as well that's very, very important to remember. Like, my father and mother's generation, majority of them were still together. So when a child comes from a happy home, a healthy home, where both parents with both a masculine role and a feminine role is a part of the upbringing of a kid, that kid's going to become way more stable and understanding these things further down the line, also a bit earlier, right? But when you look at the divorce rates and the single parent householding that is right prior to Gen Z, that's going to obviously make the kids way more insecure because maybe there was no mother around, or in most cases, there wasn't a father around. So it's easier to manipulate them. It's easier for them to become a bit moany because I feel like Gen Z is a little bit moany. We have to be able to identify who is actually working super, super hard and becoming a workaholic, like we call it, and who's actually just moaning because things are too hard to get. They don't understand the work ethic behind it, and then they become depressed. And now they need medication, which is another industry that's in that part. Now they need medication because they don't even understand that it takes way more hard work and you can't get depressed that easily. They're delusional, and
they haven't developed the coping mechanisms.
There you go. They're delusional,
So they're struggling, and that's where I say, and it's a mission of mine. I'm a mom of two Gen Zs.
God bless them.
Thank you. They are, they're striving in their respective industries. Cybersecurity as a woman.
Wow.
I'm so proud of my eldest.
Cybersecurity.
I
don't even know how to spell that.
Right. And then my youngest is going to law school just so that she could fight for causes.
Law school.
Right. Yeah.
You must be proud.
Listen.
To every tip of your hair.
I kind of am. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of
am.
I remember we said that we shared our love for the South. I'm also from Atlanta. With a little bit of New York and Brooklyn in me. So I'm a good melting pot.
Wow.
So if you hear me say I kind of am every once in a while, that's South. That's Southern for sure. But yeah, that's my concern that. It's our responsibility and having this podcast and creating this playbook for them to be able to go to and say, you know what? I remember this conversation in pivot mode. I remember, that this conversation occurred where we're not expected to have all the answers, and it's okay. It's okay to step back. understand what our resources are, just like you said, understand where we're beginning and where we want to end realistically.
With our
right?
resources.
With our resources.
You know, I think you're a success story. Coming back to resources, Americans usually don't even know where Canada is on the map because your schooling system has, educated you strictly on America, right? And even the history is a little bit screwed, right? In terms of how they educate. So Americans have been so brainwashed normally, right? Not in a negative or in a bad way or in a good way, so that you guys don't even exit the country unless you go in Cancun for partying. You guys do everything in-house, so to speak, right? You want to go skiing, you go Aspen. You want to go shopping, you go New York. You want to go, go to tropical beaches, you hit Florida. So for me, again, coming back to it, the resources, for example, that you was given, schooling in America, American culture, American mentality, we're the greatest country in the world, right? Make America great again, all of that kind of stuff. For you to even step outside and move, not to Canada or Colombia or Panama, but move across the Atlantic to Middle East, for me, that is outside of your comfort zone, outside of everything you've been taught, outside of everything that's in your media that brainwashes you every day. To me, that's a success story. You understand what I'm trying to say? Then you might come here and be like, oh my God, I only have this, this, and this, but I'm surrounded by that, that, and that. Then it's kind of like, how do you identify your resources? And that's where the maturity part comes in, I think.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because it makes me appreciate it, right? It makes me appreciate both facets of my life, right? That I've had this experience. I'm proud to be from the U.S. My children, my husband are still back home. Yeah. But to still merge our lives to this new life here and just open up so many doors and so many opportunities. Yeah. As a teacher here now, I see the young, these beautiful Arabian little girls that I teach. I see my American students in them as well. So it's just a common thread. Right. So as much as I'm concerned about my American students who need to get a grasp in life, I'm concerned about my students here too.
Of course.
Because it's just that generation. Yeah. Right. And
you can see a line that is kind of
there's such
the similar flaws in both. Based on internet and technology. And,
exactly.
Yeah. Interesting.
So just to go back to your story, what triggered you? Right? What were you searching for that made you leave home, come here, and work your way through where you are today?
In Sweden, you get penalized for being ambitious. The tax system. The tax system is so hard on entrepreneurs that it's not even fruitful to open up your own company. You have to fall in line. You have to be a yes man. You have to fall in line. It's more beneficial in Sweden to just work for a governmental company or work for Volvo or whatever. More beneficial. Less headache. You can close the laptop at 6 p.m., go have a drink, go have a coffee, whatever, like everyone else, and just watch Netflix. That is the life. That's the life cycle of Sweden. And I never really felt. I traveled a lot. I've lived around. I never really felt a part of society. This is number one. Dubai, it just happened thanks to my mom and dad. They said, let's go meet us there. We haven't been on a family holiday for a long time. I'm taking you back to 2012 now, yeah? And I met them here and I was like, wow, okay, this is incredible. Summer is here. The sun is always shining. It's just like America. Highway. No more narrow, small streets of Europe. Service is excellent. Food is great. Everywhere's clean. Everything smells amazing. I like this. Let me move. It's just Dubai. It's the whole world. You know this. Yeah. It's the world, and then it's Dubai. It's different. It's just different.
It is.
So that's what it was for me. That was the trigger.
It is. So once you moved here, your parents were already here?
No, my parents still to this day live in Sweden.
They live in Sweden?
We just came here for family holiday. My mission is to try to relocate them here as they're getting older. They're both above 70 now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You share that.
Yeah.
You share that with our dear friend Waleed. I love his family story.
Yeah.
Because, if we circle back around, at the end of the day, that is just as important.
Of course.
We spend so many years working our lives off, And then when it gets to our aging parents, we're like, no. Our time is limited.
Yeah.
We want them close.
Yeah.
We want to be able to, everything we worked for, to be able to cherish them with.
100%.
Because time is so limited.
100%.
It's insane, right?
Look at us.
I know.
I feel like I'm 17.
Listen.
What happened to the last 25 years?
Listen, I turned 50 in about 13 days.
I'm 45 in 3 months.
Listen.
What
right?
happened?
What happened?
45. Like
and
everyone's
exactly,
like, it's nothing. It's just 45. I'm like, yeah, but it's 5 years away from 50.
It's,
like,
listen.
get it over. Like, come on. It's 5 years away from 50, and you're 50.
Listen.
You feel like you're 29, no?
Oh no, I feel it. I acted everything.
Yeah,
right.
Except you've had a couple of drinks and it takes 4 days to come back. That's
Listen.
the only time. And maybe if you have a strained ankle, it takes a month instead of a week.
Listen, I broke
But
my
everything
ankle
else, there
and
you go.
still struggling.
There you go.
Still struggling.
So time, coming back
Yeah.
to what you said, time. It's
precious.
every billionaire would love to buy time, but they can't.
And that's what the conversation comes back around to, that spending the majority of our time working so hard.
Yeah.
Right? We cannot pass that baton to this generation and say that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Because we know better. We know better. So in that spirit, what do you do to maintain your wellness? Like, when do you know? Okay.
I start treating myself to like spa weekends, massages. I just started to treat myself a bit more into things that I've never done before. And I just don't go out that much. I just realized that I always look at everything from a what do I gain perspective, right? So if it's a Friday night, what do I gain by getting ready, jump in the shower, clean up, put on some fresh clothes, and go to a lounge and get drunk? What do I gain? I gain 5 hours of fun, but I lose 2 days of health by being sick in bed at this age, right? So I always look at, what do I gain? So I just like to chill. I like to relax. I got a beautiful apartment. I feel very comfortable, and I just like to relax. Maybe it's just my personality. I don't know.
No,
But
it's a great thing, especially, believe it or not, coming from a man, because that is so society just makes it so foreign for men to step back and say, wait a minute, I'm going to book a wellness day at a spa.
I do that
I'm
kind of
going
stuff,
to take care of myself and not go. I got to pay the bills. I got to cover this. I got to make things happen. It's also such a hustle society that to me, it's a disservice to us
100%.
that if we pass that mentality to the generations to come, we it's a disservice.
Yeah.
What did we do?
Very true.
So that is my goal and my aim, to make sure, as I said, and I'll repeat it again, to make sure we create a playbook for them that they can go to and say, no. I know exactly how to handle this because I remember listening to this. I remember that this generation got burnt by doing this. So I need to slow down and back up a little bit and take care of myself mentally, emotionally, physically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, how do you separate yourself from all the chaos and say, no, wait a minute, I need to step away and then release that guilt, right? Sleep at night and say, okay, I stepped away from either this deal or stepped away from a conversation that I felt that just my energy wasn't going well with it. How do you know, and what do you do to step away?
I'm still trying to learn.
I know.
But I'm still trying to learn. I haven't mastered it yet. No, I've just realized that I've given up on conversations with certain people and just individuals if I feel like the individual is just very argumentative and combative. So what happens is I've noticed that if I'm in, let's say me and Waleed or me and yourself talk about something and we don't agree on something, but one of us want to almost push the other person to agree with what I'm saying or you are saying, right? I just noticed that my energy gets drained for the rest of the day based on that interaction. So I've just understood that if I'm speaking to someone and I feel like this person is not listening to and acknowledging what I'm trying to say, but it's always his way or her way on a combative type of talking. It could be about anything. Could be about this microphone, could be about a car, could be about a project. I'm just, okay, oh yeah. I'll just kind of agree. I kind of nod along and just wait for the conversation to be over. I don't care if he or she thinks that he or she are right. I've just realized that you can't please everyone, and I don't care if you think you're right. I don't care.
Yeah.
I know what I think. It's enough for me. So I kind of, that part I've mastered. I don't get into arguments anymore. I don't. I just keep my mouth shut.
That's so good.
But it took me 45 years. I just started doing this about 6 months ago.
No, I believe you, because my husband is 52 and he just started.
You see?
And he's like, I just let it go. Because you can tell you're not going to win this argument or whatever conversation with this person.
You can tell if someone's not acknowledging what you're saying.
Exactly.
Just leave it.
Just
if
leave
they're not
it.
acknowledging, they're very ignorant.
He
Just
says
leave
it's
it.
the most liberating thing.
Yes, thank you. Say what's up to your husband for me.
I will.
Atlanta?
I will.
He's in Atlanta?
He's in Atlanta.
Oh,
He's in Atlanta.
Are you a Hawks fan? Is he a Hawks fan?
We
Atlanta
are.
Hawks?
We're big Atlanta.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
So what do you do about Hawks and New York Knicks? Like for you, like what do you?
I was born and raised in New York.
Thank you.
Right?
I was going to be
So-
disappointed if you said Atlanta.
So yeah, but when the Hawks are playing any other state,
Yeah,
I'm
of
for the
course,
Hawks.
of course,
Right.
of course. Yeah.
Now, in the spirit of that as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Would you say there are hidden costs to success?
100%. You see it also if you look at movies. Look at movies like not obviously not action movies, but look at movies that are concerning a family, relationship movies, right? You got 2-3 children, you got a dog, you got a nice little house somewhere in America, Pennsylvania, whatever. These new movies are always being shot at. Feels like it, brownstone buildings. And you look at when the father is overworking, and the father thinks that by him working super hard, extra hard, he thinks that it's always financial. But what he doesn't realize is when the daughter or the son turns 16, 17, 18, they've kind of made him disposable. They've kind of built a guard against him. Now when he feels that he's old enough and understood that he needs to come a little bit back into their lives, they're not as receptive as he thinks. Because he thinks that financial stability will completely overrule the emotional stability that the father gives.
Yeah.
And you start seeing that the woman, obviously, if he's not, taking care of his woman, the woman also starts to repel the situation. So I think money, career, all of that kind of stuff, there's always a backside to everything, not just this discussion, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you as a mother or father are so career driven that you can't every single day eat dinner with your whole family around the table, you either need to choose to leave that family completely and go do your own thing, to be very selfish, or you need to leave your job, keep it to the limit so it pays all the bills, and start spending time with your family.
Yeah.
You will lose your family.
Yeah.
100%.
It's so interesting that you say that, because it is a crisis. It is a crisis. And the good thing is the generations are starting to realize that. So they are kind of, reshaping and backing away from work being the entire existence of a man.
Yeah.
Right? Because missing games and missing your children's performances and stuff, you can't take that back.
You can't.
You can't take that back. And they're starting to realize it. And that it gives me hope.
Yeah.
It gives me hope, because now the generation for my children, it's non-negotiable. My daughters are like, no. When it comes to their family, this is the husband
Holy
that they
time.
expect to have. And, family time is so important. So they're starting to realize that work is, has its place, but they have to have a balance.
Yeah.
And that's for every aspect of health and wellness, right? So it's interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because going back to your childhood, was your dad a
Very,
workaholic?
very. No, not a workaholic. They were very attentive, both of them.
See?
Very,
Yeah.
very attentive, both of them.
And at 45, for you to be able to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
have you said that to your dad?
Of course.
Really?
I'm super tight with my parents. I'm ridiculously tight. I'm a bit too tight with my parents. I tell my father everything.
That's a
On
blessing.
holidays, what I did, how much I drank,
that's a
what
good
kind of
thing.
other wild stuff I did. He knows everything.
That's a good thing.
So but I think I'm saying these things because I've had something to look up to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They set the example. I haven't seen any other examples, so I can't really, they've set a good example. Therefore, I think I'm saying the things I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And it also goes back to their upbringing. Like, I think as a parent, I'm not a parent, but I could imagine that as a parent, you will raise your children based on how your upbringing was. Yeah. Many times, if the father wasn't around, then if the father wasn't, let's say if your father wasn't around, or let's say if your mother wasn't around for you, you will do everything you can to overcorrect what she didn't do for you. So you make sure overcorrect that it doesn't happen to yours, because you know the feeling.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So most of the times we don't know what our parents actually went through, because I don't think we had the time and the maturity to talk to them about, how was your upbringing? I've never asked my mom and dad that. Now that I think of it, I haven't asked them and talked to them in detail. How was your relationship when you was 10? How attentive was your mother? How attentive was your father? Based on what you know now as a 70-year-old parent now, what do you see that your mom and dad effed up now with your wisdom? You see what I'm saying? So
I encourage
everyone
you to have
has
that conversation.
I will, definitely. I'm going home in a couple of weeks. Definitely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it makes you realize how important it is to either forgive them, right? For their lack of whatever it was, and understand where they're coming from.
Yeah,
right?
understanding what triggered.
And then give them so much respect and value if they didn't get it and they happen to give it to you, how much that took. Right? So it'll be interesting.
Very.
So I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna call you to find out how that conversation went.
Yeah.
Now, touch on the concept of success without satisfaction. Like, that's another struggle, that if they're not go, they don't feel satisfied. That's not a sign of success. If you are not continuously going.
I think that's a sign of stress that the person have no idea they have. It sounds like it.
Really?
It sounds like they're running away from something and trying to run to something in order to fill up a void that they don't even know that they have.
I agree. It could be a trauma. It could be a trauma trigger.
100%.
I get that. However, you come from a go industry. So how would you relate it to the real estate industry? Because that's go.
Oh my God. Yeah. See, I think it comes to self-awareness. Sometimes I have to hold up. There's too many projects being launched. I can't even, I'm speaking about 3 projects and there's another 7 projects that's been launched meanwhile while I'm talking about 3 projects. So you become a product of your environment, and that is the key when you are in such a paceful market, like the investment bankers, the stockbrokers. Dubai's real estate market is probably the most fast-paced real estate market in the world. When you're in those markets, coming back to what we spoke about, maturity and self-awareness, and acknowledging that you are in that market in order to understand when things are becoming a bit too much, in order to know when to push the pause button and how to push the pause button. These are all, this is science, and very, very, very much self-awareness. If you're not aware, if you are easily distracted by the glitz and glamour and the fast pace, it might be too late. Yeah.
I love that you said self-awareness, because that's
super important.
So important.
100%. And that comes with age.
That's what I was going to say.
When you're 31, you think you're perfect.
Invincible.
Like, you think you're perfect and you have no flaws.
Yeah.
But then you fast forward to your 45 and you think about an argument you had with someone at 31. If you do that, you're like, oh my God, ABC, that was my bad. And DEF was his bad. You acknowledge the 3 bads you had, but back then you wasn't mature enough to understand that. Listen, I was in the wrong here. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? It's self-awareness. I think and I think self-awareness automatically brings humility.
It does.
I think so.
It sure does.
I don't think people are just humble without being self-aware.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. They're aligned.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
And all of that falls into the component of a healthy human being.
Yeah.
Because that's, at the end of the day, when we talk about health, it's the entire human being,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's getting this generation to understand that it's not just physical, it's mental, emotional. You got to do the work,
100%.
right? And it comes with maturity. They're trying to rush through things, and we're like, no, slow down. It's going to happen.
Everyone's trying to cut corners, not understanding that those corners going to cut you because it's not a sustainable way of doing it.
I love the
but
way
it
you
all
said that.
comes back to maturity.
It does.
And some people at 40 aren't even mature.
Don't remind me.
You know? And
It's true.
The biggest factors of us maturing and acknowledging our own problems are our parents. Like, because that's the roots. You know how a tree, like when you plant a seed, right? It grows up to the sun. But after a while, it starts to do what? Starts to hang down and get closer to its roots. That's what age do to you. But in order for that to happen, your parents, the root cause, must have been somewhat complete.
Yeah.
The values,
Yeah.
acknowledgement. You must have seen your mother say sorry to your father every now and then. You must have seen your father say I'm sorry to your mother every now and then. If you got two hard-headed people in the house, you don't even know what sorry sounds like.
Yeah.
So there's no inspiration from birth and during your toddler years to understand later in life as an aha moment that this is a time to apologize.
Yeah.
Some people find it very hard to apologize.
Yeah.
And apologizing to someone else is apologizing to yourself.
It is.
Because you're humble enough to understand that and grasp that. You see what I'm saying?
And you're setting
I'm not
yourself
very
free.
good at explaining how I think, but I think you understand between the lines what I'm trying to say.
100%. And that's part of that personal work that you have to do.
Yeah.
So that's why I love that we're making it full circle in coming from physically working and then doing the personal work that it takes in order for you to be a holistic person.
100%.
Because that is what it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, in order for this generation to really, really succeed and be healthy and be well, and we pass the baton and walk away, they have to do the holistic work. Right? And that comes in every single angle that you mentioned.
Yeah. Interesting.
And I really believe that the roots do play a role. Right, but then maturity comes into it too.
100%.
So that's in that sense. Are you excited that you're aging because of the wisdom that comes with it?
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm super excited about my age.
I
And
am
many
too.
people say it because they have no choice, right? You
But
can't
you
move
mean
back.
it.
But honestly speaking, like, I love aging.
Right?
It sounds so weird.
No, it doesn't.
It sounds so weird, but I
You-
love aging, bro.
You appreciate the wisdom that's coming with it.
Yeah, because it's the wisdom that gives you quality of life.
100%.
Not that your feet are still quick and you can still do 10 more reps because you're young and your muscles are fresh. It's the wisdom that's going to help your day-to-day life to be, joyful.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that is the key, joyful.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something in one of your videos because I said I did some homework on you.
Okay. Stalking me online.
I
huh?
did. And you mentioned something that gravitated towards me many years ago, 12 years ago when I came to visit here.
Okay.
And fell in love and said, I have to end up here.
Yeah.
The UAE government has a very, very strong investment in happiness.
Yeah. We're striving
And
for that.
they're striving for that. That they have a whole ministry of happiness.
Yeah.
I went to take care of, I think it was my Emirates ID. And I walk into the building and they said, turn to your left. That was the Department
section.
of Happiness.
Really?
I was blown away, like literally goosebumps.
Really?
So
Where
to
was-
have a
okay.
nation realize just how important happiness and joy and wellness and peace plays a role in the overall well-being of a human being, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
So share your thoughts about the UAE and their
We have
obsession with happiness.
Listen,
which
I'm
I
not
love.
trying to say it because I live here or if I don't say it, I'm going to get in trouble and all of that stuff. But seriously speaking, the way I see this country, this city, foremost, because I haven't lived in any of the other Emirates, the transitioning and the innovation and the forward thinking and the let's develop and let's improve and let's process, let's progress, all of that. That rate of speed that I've seen, some cities don't see in a lifetime. Like my mom and dad have over the last 20 years seen Dubai grow the way it's grew. They haven't seen a fraction of that in Sweden. You know, sometimes when they do certain, for example, in London, or in America, I'm sure, when they build something, they're planning like a master community from the government. They're doing a brand new bus station with, you know, some mall attached to it. Sometimes people can joke and say, I'm not even going to see that in my lifetime. You understand what I'm trying to say? Here, if it's 3 years, it's done in 3 years.
3 years.
You will actually be able to witness it in your lifetime.
Absolutely.
So we have, coming back to your question, we have the greatest government. I love them. I wish I could meet all of them and give them a big hug.
Yeah.
Sheikh Mohammed is one of the guys. Like, one of my neighbors asked me, name 3 famous people you would love to go to dinner with. Sheikh Mohammed was second on that list for me, right? I just want to know, like when you went to London with your father, what did you take from there as a child that you wanted to? Just, it's interesting,
100%.
right? It's a visionary.
Yeah.
That whole happiness part, I love what they're doing, but I've always said it, and I've said it to you as well. I think a lot of it, they do everything they can. But I think happiness is emotion, and happiness it's 2 parts really. It's the emotions that you go through, and number 2, how unified you are within your, you know, atmosphere. That brings happiness.
Yeah.
And I feel that because we have so many different cultures, and it's such a fast, you know, paced place, but at the same time, it's such a new place. I feel like between nationalities, there's a little bit of a segregation, right? And that's not something that maybe the government can control. They can give us all the tools for us to become more happy and more aware of happiness. But it boils down to me and you communicating, you know, in the line to Cheesecake Factory, getting our, you know, reservation for table number 69 and all of that. Like, just this day-to-day talking to people in the queue in Carrefour, picking up milk, just day-to-day human interaction makes abundance for your well-being. But I don't feel like that is, it's not as, coming back to Atlanta, that happens all the time by nature, right? So I could imagine that many people in, for example, coming back to Atlanta, even though it's such a more troublesome place. You got gun violence, you got all of that kind of stuff. You might be scared for your daughter when she leaves the house on a Friday. You call her phone 2 a.m, she don't pick up, your heart would pace. It wouldn't do that in Dubai. Although all of those things, I think some people, based on the day-to-day interaction within themselves from a soul level, as a human level, I think they're happy. You understand what I'm saying? Because that interaction does it all.
Does it all.
So I think until we, boots on the ground, start communicating, start easing off a little bit, stop honking in traffic and being aggressive in traffic and all of that, until we do that, I think the word happiness will be very subjective. If you you understand what I'm trying to say?
100%, 100%. And I even see it in my students now. They struggle with, you know, how, you know, preppy and excited I am when I walk into class. They're like, miss, you know, like it's so unfathomable to them.
Wow.
That the last day of school, we had I had a little round table with them, and I said, okay, what did you like about Miss Valerie? What could I have done better? Right? Because I'm mature enough to take the punches and say, okay, I'll improve on this.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things. You're always happy. We don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
We wonder, okay, is that really her? What, for me to be happy and it troubles me.
No,
Right?
It's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
It's a society
but
issue.
it is. That's what I was gonna say. That's how this generation is. They're having
They're
such
robots.
a hard time. That's the thing, right?
This
And
is
I
what's
blame
happening
the
to
phones.
us.
I know.
This is what's happening to us. Again, coming back to major corporations.
And going back to our roots. That's why on Fridays when they go back to grandma and grandpa's house and the entire family has dinner together, I rave about that. You know, because I'm like, yeah, that's what you need to do. And they enjoy doing that. So it gives me a little bit of hope that going back to our roots and finding joy in the little things will prepare them to have that self-awareness that you were talking about, to when they do go into that corporate world that is about to eat them alive, they are so self-aware that they could step back and say, no, this doesn't make me. My job is part of me, but it doesn't make or break me because I know who I am. Right?
I understand.
And that's the great
Very
job
true.
that your parents did.
Yeah.
Your parents did such an amazing job.
Yeah. Man, I admire parents. Everything you tell me about the kids in school and stuff, what a tough job, man. Not just as a teacher, but as a parent in today's day and age.
It is.
Because I looked up to my mom and dad till I was like 16. And then MTV Raps and NBA became a part of my life. And then I started looking up to Tupac and Michael Jordan at 16.
Wow.
These kids look up to their parents until they're 7, 8. And then they got a new set of parents that they look up to on TikTok.
Yeah.
So the resources,
Yeah.
the odds for parents today, it's against them.
Yeah.
And then you have to work, you have to pay bills, inflation at an all-time high. Maybe not in Dubai, but it's not a cheap place to live. You go to school, you have to pay school fees.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap place to live. It's an expensive place to live still, even though it's cheaper than many cities. So just being a parent, I praise you guys. I don't think I would have been able to pull through. I don't think so. It's coming back to the balance of work and bringing in money to safeguard. And I think you lose yourself as a man in many of those instances, unless you move to a countryside, and there's no worry in the world kind of thing. And you can have a wholesome family life. But in a metropolitan city like Dubai, Atlanta, Miami, New York,
it takes
having
work.
Children,
It
wow,
takes work.
I praise you guys.
I'm telling you, workaholism is in every aspect of our lives. So it's not just getting up and going to work and punching a clock and paying the bills. It's the internal work. It's the work as parents, work as a man, work as a woman, working on us as individuals to grow into who we are meant to be. So it's continuous work. And the fact that we were able to cross over at our age, right? We're over the camel hump at this point. And to look back and say, we got to lend a helping hand to the next generation. We have to. It's our responsibility.
That's big.
It is.
That's big.
It is.
But I think it's a collective effort from parents.
Yeah.
Question is if many parents want to acknowledge that problem. They could be lost in their lives as well, not acknowledging what they have to pass to the kids.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's so easy to just give a kid an iPad today.
That's so true.
Just go and, shut up. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
Here's an iPad. Go and play.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I'm speaking to my friend on the phone about what kind of bag she's going to buy tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the type of life, right?
Yeah.
So it's important for parents to be smart enough and mature enough and acknowledge the best needs for their kids.
Yeah.
And they have to identify society problems. Many people aren't smart enough to identify what's coming tomorrow if they don't take action on something today.
It's so true.
You see what I'm saying?
It's so true.
Everyone's involved in their own little life.
Yeah.
If I'm surrounded by people that just love cars and they spend millions of dirhams on cars, I will get sucked into that world, right? Which means that my ability to identify other things outside of that car world becomes significantly smaller. So now if you're a parent, mother or father, and you are sucked into something within your private life, I think it destabilizes your way of identifying what your kid maybe needs.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Without it being your fault.
Yeah. It just
happens.
Yeah. No.
And then it could be too late.
Yeah. But I always have hope.
Of course you have to have hope. We live for hope.
Yeah.
We live for hope. Come on.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, do you think our society glorifies busyness?
Yes, it does.
Right?
And it's destroying society because, again, coming back to who benefits.
Who benefits?
Why did they break up a happy home? 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the wife stayed at home, took care of the kids. The father went to work, brought the money in for the household to have food, electricity, just like the old days. Inflation, let's spike it. Let's spike all the prices so a family cannot survive on one
just one
salary.
income, yeah.
Now both have to go to work. Let's glorify that. Let's glorify independence for women, right? It's not even in their nature, but let's glorify it. Let's manipulate it by social like engineering or whatever you want to call it. Of course it does.
So a false sense of busyness.
I mean, LinkedIn is a cool thing to have a cool LinkedIn profile.
Busy
It's
LinkedIn.
ridiculous.
Busy LinkedIn.
Like, yeah,
Full packed.
You know, I'm gonna invite you to this event. Like, I need to be with my kids.
Yeah. So
People
it's
get a
all about-
babysitter to go to an event.
Yeah. It's all
For
about
what?
making the choices.
For networking. You got a family. That should be your network.
that's enough network right there.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
No, I so appreciate this conversation. You have no idea.
I'm so happy to be here.
Now, as I said,
I
I'm
picked up a
gonna
couple of
I'm,
things.
I'm gonna hold you to it. You're having that conversation with your parents.
I will do.
Right?
I'm going home in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm leaving
It'll
in 2
be
weeks.
interesting. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
to
I'm
see
gonna
what they
ask
think.
them actually.
Good.
I'm gonna ask
I'm
them.
glad I inspired you today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You inspired me, definitely.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Now to close us out, I play this game
Okay.
on the podcast.
Interesting.
Just to keep you on your toes a little bit.
Okay.
Right?
I'm always on my toes. Let's be on our
It's
toes.
rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And you answer in one word.
Okay.
First word that comes to your
One
mind.
word only.
One word
no
only.
Explaining.
No
and blah, 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 blah.
explaining.
Cool. All right.
One word. Now, if I want some explanation, I'll hint that.
Yeah, okay.
But one word. And the
Okay.
first word that comes to your mind.
All right.
So do not go around in circles.
Okay.
Spit the first word
No
out.
problem.
Okay.
One word.
One word.
One word only.
That's it.
Let's go.
What's your biggest personal value?
Honesty.
Good. What's the first word you think of when I say rest?
I wish.
Okay, I need you to elaborate on that.
It's hard to sleep.
Yeah.
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 It's hard to sleep.
Just naturally.
I think a lot of people have issues sleeping, and that stems from stress.
I'm a chronic insomniac.
Yeah, I sleep approximately 4 to 5 hours a night.
Ups. 2, 3.
Yeah. And then I have 6 coffees during the day. I hope my mom don't see this because she's going to break my balls
Yeah.
for 2 years. Yeah, no,
And
no,
then
no. Yeah.
we're wondering how we function.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how I
Yeah,
function.
unbelievable.
But yeah.
Cardiac arrest and all kinds of
It's
stuff going to
insane.
come down the line.
Yeah, it's
Very
insane.
bad, very bad.
What emotion do you feel when you stop working?
Peace. Yeah,
Good.
peace.
Was it always like that?
No.
Good. What's more important, achievement or alignment?
Alignment.
Absolutely.
Alignment brings achievement.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Did you feel that way 10 years ago?
No, absolutely not.
The wisdom
I
of
matured
aging.
into it.
Love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Last one, workaholism. Is it a mask or a mirror?
It's a mask. 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You're hiding behind something.
100%. 100%. You're running away from something.
You absolutely
And
are.
you're too scared to deal with it, or you don't even know that you have it in order to deal with it.
Bam.
Yeah.
I couldn't close the show any other way. You killed it.
Sick.
Thank you so much.
Very nice to
It
have
was
you.
an honor.
Very nice
It
to
was
be
an
here.
honor.
Sorry, not have you.
No,
Brooklyn in the
absolutely.
house.
Listen.
Come on now.
Forever Brooklyn.
Yeah. Definitely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, it
You
was
inspired
such a
me today.
pleasure. I know for a fact that our viewers are going to feel the same way, that it was such a pleasure to have you. These conversations are raw. They are unscripted, right? They come straight from the heart. And they're important conversations to have
Yeah,
that
very.
people are just not having.
Very.
Right?
Very.
And that's my goal. It's my blueprint. It's my mission. We got to save the next generation. We got to
100%.
save them. So I'm passing the baton to you.
Thank you. You woke me up today. I wasn't aware of this 2 hours ago.
You're welcome.
I'll tell you that. You inspired me, truthfully.
You're welcome.
And I'm happy that you moved to Dubai. We need more people like you.
Thank
Big
you.
smile on your face, warm.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice to meet you.
I appreciate
Very
it.
nice to meet you.
It has been an honor.
Thank you.
Now, my viewers, if you like what you see, you love the content, you love the realness, we implore you. I won't beg because that's just not what I do. I just feel that you're going to like it so much. Please subscribe, share, and comment. We will answer comments to the best of our ability because we want to get your input and we want to get your feedback. All right? Until next time. Bye.